Just hours ago, fans everywhere were startled by headlines screaming, "Devastating news about Alice Cooper." The name alone sparks images of wild stage shows, theatrical makeup, and a career that has spanned decades. For anyone who grew up with his music, Alice Cooper wasn't just a performer. He was a force of nature, the ultimate shock rocker whose life seemed larger than the stage itself. And now, suddenly the internet was buzzing with questions. What happened? Is he okay? The truth is, the story isn't quite as dark as the clickbait suggests, but it is deeply human. Alice Cooper has faced more battles than most rock stars dare to admit. From the chaos of his early years, fueled by excess and near tragedy, to the painstaking climb back to health and stability, he has survived it all. Yet, despite the rumors and viral headlines, Cooper remains active, performing, recording, and connecting with fans who have followed him for decades. What caused the recent panic? Much of it stems from social media misinterpretation and sensationalized posts, often twisting tributes or updates into breaking tragedy stories. In reality, recent news highlights his ongoing projects, like collaborations with longtime bandmates and his appearances in special performances that celebrate the legacy of rock legends. And while the world mourns icons like Ace Frehley, Cooper's heartfelt messages honoring lost friends can easily be misconstrued as news about his own health. Alice Cooper's life has always been a delicate balance between chaos and control, spectacle and survival. His story reminds us that rock and roll is more than just music. It's a testament to resilience, reinvention, and the courage to face life head-on. So before panic spreads online, it's important to separate rumor from reality. Alice Cooper isn't gone. He's alive, active, and still proving why he's one of the most unforgettable figures in music history. For decades, Alice Cooper has been the embodiment of rock and roll rebellion. From his earliest days, he didn't just perform music, he created a spectacle. Makeup, stage props, shocking theatrics. Every element of his act was designed to push boundaries and make people sit up and take notice. He became a symbol of a generation that craved freedom, chaos, and unapologetic self-expression. But behind the eyeliner and screams of adoring fans, the man himself lived a life far more complicated, far more fragile than anyone realized. Alice's early years were a whirlwind of excess. Parties blurred into nights of drinking, drugs, and near tragedies that could have ended his career or his life many times over. Friends and fellow musicians watched in awe as he balanced on the edge, surviving what seemed impossible. Yet even in the chaos, there was discipline. He understood the power of persona, of performance, of transforming pain and darkness into art. It was both armor and weapon, a way to survive while building a career that would span decades. The recent headlines claiming devastating news about Alice Cooper sent a wave of panic through fans. But the truth is far less sensational and far more inspiring. In reality, Cooper remains alive, active, and fiercely dedicated to his craft. The headlines, fueled by social media misinterpretation, twisted tributes to fallen rock legends into alarming rumors about him. When he shared heartfelt messages honoring friends like Ace Frehley, some outlets spun it as breaking tragedy for Cooper himself. But fans who know him understand that Alice has always faced life head-on, even in moments of grief, with honesty, resilience, and a refusal to be defined by fear. Over the years, Cooper's career has been a testament to reinvention. He has navigated the treacherous waters of fame, addiction, and personal loss with a level of honesty that few rock stars dare to show. He speaks openly about his struggles, from near-fatal excesses in his youth to the challenge of maintaining a career in a constantly shifting industry. Yet he never hides behind the theatrics. Those moments of vulnerability, carefully woven into his persona, are what make him not just a rock star, but a survivor and a storyteller. Even as he aged, Alice Cooper refused to slow down. While some contemporaries retreated from public life, he continued touring, performing, and recording new music. His stage shows evolved but never lost their edge. The shock remained, but now tempered by decades of experience and perspective. Fans who thought they knew him were reminded again and again that Alice Cooper's story was bigger than any rumor or headline. It was a narrative of endurance, creativity, and the unbreakable will to keep going, no matter what life threw in his path. The beauty of Alice Cooper's journey lies in its contradictions. He is both larger than life and deeply human. A man who can terrify an audience with a single gesture yet reveal intimate truths in a single interview. The headlines might scream devastating news, but the real story is one of triumph over adversity. Every album, every tour, every candid revelation about his past is in a life fully lived, a life where fear and chaos have been transformed into art. Legacy and inspiration. Alice Cooper didn't just survive rock and roll. He mastered it. And as fans continue to celebrate his work, it's clear that his influence extends far beyond the stage. He remains a living testament to resilience, reinvention, and the enduring power of honesty. The man behind the makeup, the persona, and the shock is not gone. He is still here, still performing, and still reminding the world why he will forever be one of the most unforgettable icons in music history. Behind the theatrics. Alice Cooper's life has always been a delicate balance between chaos and control. Offstage, the man whose voice could chill and captivate alike faced battles that the public rarely saw. The same energy that electrified arenas could also consume him in private. Addiction, personal loss, and the pressure to constantly reinvent himself threatened to derail everything he had worked for. Yet, through it all, he survived, and not just survived, but transformed every setback into a lesson. A story, a reason to keep performing. In interviews, Cooper often reflects on his early years with a mix of humor and solemnity. He talks about the reckless choices, the nights blurred by substances, and the moments that could have ended his career or his life before it truly began. Many fans are unaware that the wild stage persona, the shock makeup, and the props were more than just entertainment, they were his armor. By embodying a character, he found a way to channel fear, pain, and chaos into something productive. The legend of Alice Cooper was built on survival as much as it was on music. Even as his fame grew, he refused to be consumed by Hollywood's expectations. While some contemporaries traded authenticity for commercial success, Cooper maintained a careful equilibrium. He understood that his art was inseparable from his personal journey. That meant making choices that might baffle outsiders, taking breaks from touring, avoiding certain media appearances, and refusing roles or collaborations that didn't align with his vision. Fans sometimes misinterpreted this as retreat, but in reality, it was deliberate self-preservation. Cooper's career isn't a tale of avoidance. It's a story of strategic engagement, of knowing when to step forward and when to protect the core of who he is. Family and personal relationships also played a pivotal role. Cooper credits much of his resilience to a supportive network that kept him grounded even as fame threatened to sweep him away. Behind closed doors, he cultivated connections that provided balance and perspective, anchoring him when the rock and roll lifestyle could have easily pulled him under. These bonds shaped not only his personal life but also his creative output, allowing him to explore themes of loyalty, morality, and redemption in his music. The public, however, often focused on the drama rather than the depth. Social media amplified every rumor, every misstep, and every tribute, transforming private moments into perceived crises. The recent devastating news headlines are just the latest example. What appeared as a sudden shock was, in reality, a heartfelt homage to fallen friends in the rock world. Cooper used the opportunity to reflect on mortality, legacy, and the fleeting nature of fame, lessons hard-earned over decades of triumphs and near tragedies. Through it all, one thing remained consistent: Cooper's commitment to his craft. He continued to write, record, and tour, each project reflecting the lessons learned from his own life. The same man who terrified audiences with theatrics now engaged them with authenticity and vulnerability. The legend of Alice Cooper is not just about shock value. It's about resilience, about transforming personal struggles into art that resonates across generations. By choosing to navigate fame on his own terms, Alice Cooper has created a career that defies easy explanation. He has survived the pitfalls that claimed so many contemporaries, turning potential disaster into narrative strength. And while the world often fixates on the spectacle, the true story lies in his perseverance, creativity, and humanity. Alice Cooper remains a living icon not merely of rock, but of survival, reinvention, and the power of facing life. UNFLINCHINGLY. As Alice Cooper entered the later decades of his career, his approach to music and life evolved, but his intensity never waned. The theatrics that had made him a household name remained, but now they were tempered by experience, wisdom, and a deeper understanding of his own mortality. Every tour, every performance carried the weight of decades of triumphs and near tragedies. To fans, it was still Alice Cooper at his most electrifying, but beneath the stage persona. The man had grown reflective, intentional, and fiercely protective of his craft. Despite the myths spun by social media and sensationalist headlines, Cooper continued to create. Albums, tours, and collaborations all reflected the core of his artistry, storytelling rooted in human experience. While younger generations might know him for the shock rock iconography, longtime followers recognize a different depth in artist who channels vulnerability, grief, and resilience through music. His stage presence remained theatrical, but his art had matured, offering subtlety alongside spectacle. Those who paid attention could see the evolution, recognizing that the essence of Alice Cooper was not merely shock, but survival and self-expression. In recent years, Cooper has also embraced mentorship, sharing his insights with emerging artists. He encouraged them to find their own voice, to avoid the traps of excess that once threatened him, and to honor their craft above all else. For Cooper, legacy is not measured in chart positions or viral moments, but in the integrity and authenticity that artists maintain across decades. By guiding others, he ensures that his lessons, hard-earned and deeply personal, live on in new generations of musicians. Family and personal relationships continue to anchor him. Cooper credits much of his enduring stability to the people who stood by him through tumultuous periods. They offered perspective when fame threatened to distort reality, grounding him when the line between performance and persona blurred. These relationships became both sanctuary and inspiration, informing his music with themes of loyalty, redemption, and humanity. The balance between personal life and professional spectacle allowed Cooper to sustain a career that many contemporaries saw crumble under pressure, even as the world occasionally misinterpreted his actions or spun rumors of devastating news. Cooper remained focused on what mattered: creating, performing, and living authentically. Recent viral headlines misled fans into thinking he was facing crisis or illness, when in truth Cooper was honoring friends, reflecting on mortality, and continuing his life's work. In this way, he has mastered a delicate dance engaging with the world while preserving the space necessary to grow, evolve, and thrive. The beauty of Alice Cooper's journey lies in its contradictions. He is larger than life and yet profoundly human, chaotic on stage and deliberate off it. His career demonstrates that survival in rock and roll isn't just about spectacle or notoriety, it's about resilience, reinvention, and the courage to face personal and professional challenges head-on. Cooper's story serves as a blueprint for longevity, showing that true artistry requires more than talent. It demands self-awareness, discipline, and the ability to transform adversity into expression. Looking back, Cooper's life is a tapestry of extremes: darkness and light, chaos and control, fame and privacy. The rumors, the clickbait headlines, and the sensationalist narratives may continue to swirl, but they are secondary to the reality. Alice Cooper is alive, thriving, and still redefining what it means to be an artist in a world that often confuses spectacle with substance. He remains a living icon not just of rock and roll, but of endurance, reinvention, and the power of facing life with unflinching honesty. In the end, the legend of Alice Cooper is inseparable from the man himself. His music, his performances, and his life reflect a relentless pursuit of authenticity. He survived when survival seemed impossible, reinvented himself when reinvention was risky, and continues to inspire not only fans but fellow musicians. The stage lights may dazzle, but the real story, the one that matters, is his courage, resilience, and the enduring truth that Alice Cooper is far more than a shock rock persona. He is a survivor, a mentor, an artist, and a legend whose story is still being written. Even after decades in the spotlight, Alice Cooper has refused to let his legacy become static. While some artists of his era have retired or faded quietly into memory, Cooper remains active, touring, recording, and engaging with fans worldwide. The theatrics that made him famous, the dark makeup, the guillotines, the snakes still dominate the stage, but now they are infused with the weight of experience. Each performance is not only a spectacle, but also a reflection on survival, resilience, and the passage of time. The man who once shocked audiences with chaos now captivates them with mastery. Recent years have seen Cooper embracing new collaborations and projects, demonstrating that creativity does not diminish with age. He remains a sought-after presence in the music industry, not simply for nostalgia, but because he continues to innovate. From mentoring emerging artists to contributing to special performances honoring rock legends, Cooper ensures that his voice, both literal and metaphorical, continues to shape the culture of rock and roll. His influence extends beyond his own work, inspiring a new generation to prioritize authenticity and dedication over fleeting fame. Despite sensational headlines claiming devastating news, Cooper's life is a testament to endurance. Social media often distorts moments of reflection or tribute into alarming rumors, but those who know him understand the truth. Cooper has faced personal and professional crises before substance abuse, near-fatal incidents, the constant pressure of fame, and yet he persists, unbroken. Recent tributes to fallen friends like Ace Frehley were misinterpreted as threats to his own well-being, when in reality they are reminders of the close-knit world he inhabits, a world where friendship, loyalty, and mutual respect outweigh fleeting panic. Family and personal relationships continue to play a central role in his stability. Cooper credits much of his continued success to the people who have supported him behind the scenes, grounding him and providing perspective when the spotlight grows overwhelming. These relationships have informed his music, his performances, and his approach to life, allowing him to navigate the rock and roll lifestyle with clarity and purpose. Where others see chaos, Cooper finds balance, turning challenges into lessons and struggles into stories that resonate with fans. What makes Alice Cooper's story remarkable is his ability to merge spectacle with substance. He remains the ultimate showman, yet his artistry is deeply human. The stage, the props, and the dramatic entrances are not mere gimmicks, they are extensions of his life experience, a way to communicate the highs, lows, and lessons learned over decades of survival. Audiences may be enthralled by the theatrics, but the true power lies in the authenticity behind the persona. Cooper's legacy is not defined by shock alone. It is defined by resilience, reinvention, and unwavering commitment to his craft. Looking forward, Cooper shows no signs of slowing. His current projects, ongoing tours, and public engagements reinforce a truth that his fans have long known. He is alive, thriving and fully in control of his story. While rumors and viral headlines may attempt to distort reality, the truth is far simpler and far more inspiring. Alice Cooper's life is a story of triumph over adversity, a testament to the enduring power of creativity, and a reminder that legacy is built not just on fame, but on courage, authenticity, and relentless dedication. Ultimately, Alice Cooper's narrative is about more than shock, makeup, or controversy. It is a story of survival, reinvention, and the ability to navigate life on one's own terms. The man behind the legend remains vibrant, creative, and influential, proving that true artistry is measured not by the rumors surrounding it, but by the depth, resilience, and authenticity it embodies. Alice Cooper continues to inspire, perform, and lead, a living icon whose story remains as electrifying and as relevant as ever.